Hello everybody, welcome back to an episode of Trails to Daybreak 2! Last time we did more forest BGs, we took down a monster that was prowling around the garden, and we had to find a runaway patient who was suffering from kidney stones. With that out of the way, the forest BGs are done, we can now progress with our info gathering around the city. So let's head off to Riverside first and see what we need to do around here. And see if there's any new shop, if there's any shops I have to head up to.
What?
Alright. Alright. Don't honk at me. Father, I've discovered yet another one taped to the walls of the temple. Again? What's this place coming to? It's already been torn down and disposed of. I'll go make sure there aren't any more. Is something wrong, Father Monster? There's a trouble, we'll hear you out. Depending on the issue, we can even take it on as a job. I appreciate your concern, but things aren't quite so dire. We've merely had some occasional instances of unsavory flyers being posted, or even distributed around our grounds. You mean to say someone's harassing the temple? If so, you should submit a report to the guild or police and have them handle the situation. Actually, these flyers concern a specific individual rather than the temple itself. Thus, we are in no position to press charges. A target attack, huh? Don't suppose they're bounties for a certain phantom thief? So, who are the flyers about exactly? You may not be familiar with him, but they regard a young man named Oslin. I feel like I've heard of him somewhere before. He's an up-and-coming Z1 racer who has been getting some steam lately. In the last race, he came close to catching Maxim Lubin, the current champion. Damn, must be a real speed demon. Rumor has it this year's Grand Prix will boil down to a straight-out duel between the two. Oslin is from the Central East and a good-looking guy to boot, so he's been a real top trending topic. Does he have any connection to this temple? His accomplishments as an immigrant have made him something of a celebrity among those of Central Eastern descent. As such, a great deal of his admirers are part of our congregation, making this the perfect place to try and ruin his image. Yes, the flyers do nothing but besmirch his character. They claim he's a violent brute, or that he has ties to the mafia. How awful. Any of that rooted in reality? There's no concrete evidence to speak of, so I don't believe it's worth putting any stock into. The man himself has visited the temple a number of times. And as far as I can tell, he is as devout and sincere as a youth as can be. Sure, but sometimes it's the goody two-shoes that have the most skeletons in their closets. Even still, this is clearly nothing more than a malicious smear campaign. Perhaps the guilty party is envious of his successes. It could also be the work of an anti-immigration terrorist who can't handle the Central Easterner rising to fame. All men are equal before the winged goddess Arusha. She draws no distinction between race or ethnicity. To go against this is nothing short of deplorable. Father Monster, if these flyers continue to appear, it may constitute disturbance in the temple, in which case you would still need to be eligible to file a complaint with the guild despite not being the victim of defamation. So please, don't hesitate to reach out to us if the need arises. I can only pray it doesn't. Nevertheless, we'll keep your kind offer in mind. Oh boy. Racer drama. We all love it. Alright, there's 2 new shops to visit here. What do you have, man? Buy that. Alright. What do we have down here? Buy that. Nice. Gifts maxing. Ooh. Alright. Hey, mans. I haven't seen that guy. That guy's been mug in a while. Not that I'm complaining. The less of his anti-immigration activism, the better. Still, I do wonder about him. Must be a real piece of work. You want to look over someone? Maybe we'll give you a hand. No need to concern yourselves. I wouldn't exactly call it a problem anyhow. See, this anti-immigration protester who often comes to demonstrate here hasn't been around lately. Tell us more about this protester. The man's name is Jacobin. He's a wily sort, the kind who will leap at the chance to shove his radical rhetoric down your throat. We cracked down on it time and again, but never did much to discourage him. But now he isn't showing up at all. You don't suppose that means he's finally had a chance to change of heart? Well, whatever the case, just take care not to get suckered in by any screwball solicitors. Thanks, sweetie. Jacobin. He was the one who wrote that threatening letter in Erasium. And apparently he went back to his old ways without missing a beat right after. The guy's anti-immigration sentiments ran deep. If he's gone cold turkey, that raises a few eyebrows. Maybe he just changed locations? Could be. We'll keep an eye out. Alright. Alright, any new place to visit here? Yes, there is. And it just so happens to be the place where I need to go. Thank you. Arkwright Solutions, an A-rank bracer and a divine blade. Here to sample our Eastern fare. The smell of it's so rich, it takes me right back to the Langport. I can feel my mouth watering already. Yeah, well, keep a leash on until lunchtime. We're just making the rounds on Edith's rumor mills while we work through our 4 SPGs. Oh? Well, one juicy tidbit I have is your run-in with the Luke family yesterday. You already know about that? I do, albeit only superficially. While we're on the subject, I've been wondering what became of the Syndicate after the fact. The Liu family bigwigs are still somewhere in the capital. Same goes for Cal and his men. What they're up to is a mystery, but I do hear the council and elders will be making a big announcement soon. We could probably guess what it is. I anticipated a massive gambit from Cal, but it came a lot faster than what I was thinking. I'm no minor follower's example, but his cunning and audacity are to be admired. To be fair, it isn't as if this is all bad for the Syndicate. Maybe not, but that doesn't mean I have to whoop it up. Well, I for one look forward to what the future holds for Heiyu, and by extension the path you choose to tread. But enough about our internal affairs. I happen to have a bit of a piece of information here that might interest you. The True Grievance Brigade has resumed their operations. So it's true! I heard from Elaine that they're on the move, though the guild doesn't have any specifics. At any rate, their core members should all be in custody now after what happened in Aramis. If that alone were enough to deter them, they would be disbanded ages ago. I don't know who's currently leading their ranks, but they seem to be more zealous than ever. And I thought cockroaches were hard to stomp out. Easterners like us may be on their blacklist, but I doubt they are foolhardy enough to raise a hand against Heiyu. As long as they don't act against us, we'll extend the same courtesy to them. The rest of you aren't off the radars either, so you might want to watch your backs. Point taken. Thank you for the warning. Whoop, someone's calling. Hey, Maxim. Oh, friend the champion himself.
元気にしていたかい裏解決屋の諸君最近は直接会う機会もなくて君たちもさぞや寂しかったことだろう
Yeah, I'm hanging up. Hold on a second. The least you can do is hear me out. I'll just get to the point. There's something important I wanted to ask you guys. Really now? On the same day as the big race? Doesn't seem like a coincidence. You can put it that way, but I'd rather go over the nitty-gritty in person. Now's a bad time, now I won't push my luck. Is anyone related to side quest, huh? Guess the chance it's connected to those terrorists. Actually, I think we can work you in. Is that right? Glad to hear it. Let's meet at 10:30 then. I'll be waiting at the Orwell Cafe in front of the station. See you on the flip side. What do you think Max wants from us? He got all tense out of nowhere halfway through that call. Maybe there's trouble brewing over at the Grand Prix? I don't know any better than you, but whatever it is has my nose twitching. Alright. Let's do it. We're ready to go.
Yeah, 君たち来てくれたか。時間ちょうどか。定常を抜きにすると顔を合わせるのは一月ぶりだな、バン。
Has it been that long already? Doesn't feel like it the way you've been helping my assistants. Gonna take a while to stab though and say you ain't here just to catch up. I'll explain that more to you in a bit. First, sit down and take a load off. Thank you for placing the order for us, though I do feel a bit guilty letting you pay. Yeah, no need to put yourself out on our account. Just think of it as a reward for all the times you were there for me. Don't mind if I do then. So, let's start with what Renee is doing here. Not that I don't already have an idea. Right, I won't beat around the bush. Long story short, today the Grand Prix is being targeted by anti-immigration terrorists. For real? Wait, am I the one who's surprised by that? Well, all the signs so far were sort of pointing to it. First off, it came in knowing that leftover anti-immigration terrorists were still kicking about. Then we got the Zealand Grand Prix finals, which immigrants are going to turn up in droves to see. Add to that the involvement of a CID analyst, and the rest is self-explanatory. I see what you mean now. Plus, one of the favorites is today's race is Aslan, who comes from the Central East. It only makes sense that the terrorists would have their sights set on him. You're absolutely right. Even despite the existence of Red Star, races in the past were exclusively of white descent. But in recent years, the number of Eastern and Central Eastern racers have grown to the point where they're no longer an exception. Among them, a star of hope for the Central Easterners was born in the form of Aslan. Nowadays, there are quite a few people who feel the Zealand races as a symbol of ethnic integration. I can definitely feel it going in that direction. But of course, anti-immigration terrorists wouldn't take much of a fancy to that. So they demand that the race's organizers call up the Zealand Grand Prix altogether. And by they, I mean the True Grievance Brigade. From what I hear, they also demand that the police release their fellow members who are caught in hiding in Aramis. I see, so the remnants really are still active. It's just as we suspected. They'll stop at nothing to achieve their goals. But of course, you won't give in to their demands, right? That goes without saying. The Grand Prix organizers haven't even considered suspending the events. And naturally, the CID plans to do everything in its power to address the situation. To start, will be establishing a strict watch in and around the circuit venue as a precautionary measure. However, these radicals have little left to lose. The more we tighten the screws, the likelier it is they'll involve innocent people. You certainly can't be too careful given the descent number of members purported to be at large. So, as a bit of an added insurance, you want to enlist the aid of Mark Solutions. Which, at this particular moment, means you get Elaine as part of the package. Classic Renee, the pampered prince never misses a trick. Enough with the pampered prince bit, and it's Mr. Kincaid to you. And yes, as you surmise, the city would like to once again issue an official Force PG. Your task is to flush out and apprehend the terrorists. Your assigned area will be the race speedway's interior. In the meantime, my men and I will handle the perimeter. Sounds like a plan. By the way, I'll be acting as a liaison between you and the event manager, so if there's anything you need to pass on, just give me a call. Understood. Right then, I better head out. Got a few things to take care of before the race. Sure thing. Catch you later. The True Grievance Brigade. Didn't seem as they were tied to any other forces back in Aramis either. But there's a definite chance that someone will capitalize on their schemes, just like before. Hey, as long as they put up a decent fight. Speak for yourself. I'd rather they call it quits. Anyway, let's scarf down some lunch to get to investigating. Hey, the Grand Prix. The Grand Circuit, excuse me. It stopped snowing. So it has, though it's still a little overcast. The Grand Circuit. That is 12th District. I remember looking around here with Vaughn during the Revolution Festival. Yeah, you were sightseeing like no one's business. This is my first time in the area. Wait, what's that? Ah, you mean the Ferris wheel. It's an attraction in which one rides a gondola attached to a rotating rim, allowing them to take in the surrounding views. Cool. Is it like taking the air tram in Basel? It doesn't feel quite the same, but there's definitely a resemblance, visually. You may not know it, but this place also has one of the most up-to-date bouldering facilities out there. There are some who make a hobby of scaling natural rock formations with their bare hands. Bouldering imitates that in a safe environment for people to enjoy, right? Someone's been reading up. I tried it out on one of my days off, and let me tell you, it really gets your blood pumping. Oh yeah? Color me intrigued. Unlike the Ferris wheel, this is the kind of thing you can have fun with solo. I get where y'all are coming from, but now ain't the time to be fooling around. Come on, let's go check the perimeter before we head into the speedway.
今日はビアガ
Alright.
ーデンの方も大盛況ね。そうね。
こんにちは。どうもです。
ここにいるのは
Isn't that who? Who are you talking about?
さあ期待は裏切らないぜ。いつでも待ってるぜ。
私もやってみようか。
Oh. Okay, I bought everything. Alright. Hey, look who's here. Where's Yume?
あら、バンさんたち。
なんだ、お前たちも来たのか。
On business, but yeah. Forget that. What are you doing here, Grammy?
実はビクトルとは昔からの知り合いでね。私が現役時代に通ってたレストランで働いてたことがあったのさ。
ある時ドミニクさんに俺の料理をえらく気に入ってもらってな。それをきっかけにいろいろと助言をもらえるようになったわけだ。モンマルトを開店する時にも大いに力になってもらったもんだぜ。
You don't say? Never would have guessed you two had a history. It's definitely a shocker. But that's not what I meant. What are you doing here at the Grand Circuit? Or do I even need to ask? Kind of think about it. I recall hearing that you've been offered advice to professional athletes before. Does that mean you're here to coach the Z1 racers?
ま、と言っても若手のレーサーくらいだけどね。ついでにレースの演出方面にも軽く口を挟ませてもらってるよ。
Judith and Vaughn sure aren't exaggerating about her. She's a granny of all trades if I ever saw one. And yet she rarely ventures into the public eye. I see now why the rumors refer to her as a legend. Bet she could hold up in a scuffle too. Dames like her must be 1 in a million. Alright, enough feeding her ego. What I want to know is, where'd Yume's get up to? Oh, that's right, I don't see her around.
実はマクシムさんと一緒に観覧車に乗る約束をしていてね。そろそろ戻ってくる頃じゃないかしら。
A playdate, huh? Those two are pretty chummy now. Nothing to worry about then, right? Save for the potential terror situation. Let's check around the Ferris wheel just in case.
しかし観覧車か。外からよじ登るのも楽しそうだよね。
とんでもねえこと言うな。絶対にやるなよ。
Huh. So this is the Ferris wheel. Makes you feel so sharp from up close.
楽しかったね、おじさん。
それはよかった。
So when is Maxim gonna come out and say, "Hey, I'm your actual dad"? When is he gonna come out? When is he gonna make her realize that?
いやー、君たち、守備は順調かい？
守備？
You can relax. We'll get the job done. So Yume, how was riding the Ferris wheel with Maxim?
一番上からだとサーキットがよく見えたよ。
Wow, that must be the best seat in the house.
けど、夢もっと乗ってたかったな。
楽しい時間はあっという間に過ぎるものだからね。今度また乗る機会があれば、その時は2週でも3週でも付き合うさ。
本当？約束だよ。
ああ、約束だ。夢のことは僕が責任を持ってポーレットたちのところへ届けるよ。そうそう、君たちがサーキット場に入れるようにすでに手配はしておいた。受付で名前を言えば通してくれるはずだ。よろしく頼んだよ。
For sure, thanks.
みんな、それじゃあまたね。
Looks like Maxim is headed straight for the racetrack himself. Is something bothering you, Vaughn? Nah, it's nothing. We're gonna want to follow his lead soon.
さて、それじゃあ掛け金を決めてと。
まったくアーロンさんは飲む、打つ、買うは禁止です。
ってお前意味分かってんのか。
ともかく仕事で来てるんだからほどほどにね。
All right, so so they're probably gonna shoot up the joint. Who's gonna die? And now we're gonna get time rewound. Are you looking to purchase the ticket? Unless you have a reservation, I'm afraid standing in room only. Name's Von Arkwright. Maxim Lugan should have set something up for us. Oh, so you're friends with Mr. Lugan? My apologies. Mr. Von Arkwright, was it? Yes, I have you right here. That'll be 9 event ticket passes for you. Go right ahead and enter the venue. Got it. The VIP treatment isn't so bad. So they're gonna shoot up the joints. Someone's probably going to die, and time's gonna get it rewound. I see this happening right now. A little past noon, the race is scheduled to start at 2 p.m. sharp. Could have asked for better driving weather either. Yes, it feels great outside. The sky is clearing up nicely. On the other hand, the stands are already filling in, even with 2 hours to go. Same goes to show. This goes to show how much they're chomping at the bit. This is, after all, the Grand Prix's annual finals. The crowd's fervor is almost palpable. How do you plan on finding those bozos then? Don't tell me you plan on grilling the audience one seat at a time. Even with so many people here, doing that would only draw unwanted attention to us. Incidentally, Renee gave you some sort of data before we parted. What was it? Just a little trick to help us zero in on the enemy. The terrorist weaponry of a choice are specially designed to bypass standard metal detectors. As luck would have it, we managed to get our hands on a similar model from the Blacklight District. If you install this data and perform a shard search, we should be able to identify them. Best of luck. Wow, the CID thinks of everything. I'd call it over-preparing, but if it saves us some hassle, you might as well roll with it. I'll forward the data to you guys. That way we can split up and cover as much ground as possible. Our first order of business would have been pinpoint any terrorists hiding at the speedway. Then we surround them, close in, and corral the whole group at once. Simple as that. There's just one thing. I won't resent to act as our operator. That means compiling everyone's findings and passing along my instructions when needed. As you wish. Good. Now let's get this done. Right. Alright, we're all fanned out. Time for me to start moving too.
ザイファの設定も完了と。あとはシャードサーチで探すだけか。夢たちのためにもテロリストは確実に捕まえねえとな。急がねえとな。
Alright. So what exactly am I searching for here? I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to be searching for around here. So it's time I got 3 rice articles. Alright, Master Islands, okay. Do you see the same thing? Yeah. Not quite sure who I'm supposed to be talking to, really. Because there's really nothing telling me otherwise. Let's talk to everybody. Let's talk to everybody. Oh, it's these guys. I remember these guys. Well, I see you guys enjoying yourselves. I remember these guys. These guys were the racing group from the last game. Listen, Carlos, you're the only one who can turn to for this. If you say no, we'll have to forfeit our slot. Give me a break. I retired a decade ago. My foot hasn't even healed all the way. World Z1 has no Sunday drive, you know. I won't argue that point, but still. Carlos. That's the guy who used to race for Leno way back when. Seems to be deep in conversation with one of the reps. Nothing's popping up on the search though, so I doubt they're in the terrorists. No sense in poking into their business. Guess I'll go sweep the stands again. I see somebody. I'm getting hit from that guy. No two ways around it. Doesn't seem like he's part of a group, though. I'll just stand by and keep an eye on him until Rosette calls. The rest of the team have completed their investigations. Ultimately, the only positive search result was the man you came across. Yeah, I just checked with Renee. He said the others might be outside the arena. If not, the chances are that they're hiding somewhere in the on the racetrack. Anyway, I'm going to move in on this one. Can you relay the plan to everyone else? Certainly. Excuse me, you got a second? Need something? Let's just say we've been selected for a stop and search. Mind telling me about what you're concealing there? How could you possibly? In case you got any funny ideas, we already have you surrounded. Surrender quietly. I didn't realize they're drawing so much attention. So be it. Trying to make a suicide run? Not on my watch. Big talk for the little lady. So why does it make my spine chill? Forget it. Sorry, but this road's closed. Give yourself up without a fuss, and you may still get off with a minimal sentence. Beely's Blake too? Guess escape's no longer an option. In that case... Comrades, to arms! So those playmates were hiding under shard camouflage. It wasn't just running around randomly. Nothing we weren't expecting. I like how we're fighting in the middle of the field, and everyone's just clapping away. How you holding up, Elaine? Perfectly fine, thank you. I think we can agree that I'll just stack against you. Even then, you're still gonna pick a fight. Don't take us lightly. We're the True Greens Brigade, the leaders of Calvard needs most. Now that our sponsors have dropped us, our backs are against the wall. It's a shame we couldn't drag those blasted immigrants into this. We'll just have to settle for taking you down with us instead. Okay.
頼んだ白金の
電子スキル発動
せ
行こうかスキル発動ブーストゲージが増えたぞ
バカな
後期です
One down.
炎よスキャレ遅い
Ah, you prickhole!
いい感じだねスキル発動
もらった
決めなよバンここだ
そこだテリー
Alright.
ブーストが有効だよザフィールエッチ
Great! That was easy. We're done for. Long live the Republic. We're down for the count. I could have done more of it. I could have gone for more of a challenge, to be honest. The Genesis still hasn't reacted so far. Does that mean there's no corrosion going on? It's difficult to say. This may not be been all of their surviving members. Alright, we can't afford to drop our guards. For now, let's go hang these guys over to Renee. At the same time, the city apprehended a separate unit of the True Grievance Brigade. And combined with the one Vaughn's team had captured, all members of the group were accounted for and in custody. Thus, the brigade's plans to interfere with the Z1 Grand Prix and negotiate the release of their comrades skid to a halt. And none worse for wear. Well, that takes care of the terrorists. So now what? Do we keep up the investigation here or move somewhere else entirely? Good question. I'm still getting whiff of something suspicious. Ah, there it is. It's reacting. So we're on the right track? At the very least, we need to stay sharp until the race is over and done with. Shall we take another look, turn through the stands and garages? Yeah, anywhere else we can think of while we're at it. Poking around blindly irks me a bit, but I suppose it's the best we can do right now.
Maxima!
Having flushed out the terrorists, Bond and company continued their investigation with a wary eye. No suspicious activity to be found. The Zealand Grand Prix went on as scheduled. As the group remained vigilant, the race plowed ahead with a number of dramatic developments along the way. In the end, it was a showdown between Maxim and Aslan in a fierce and fervent bid for first place. While keeping in touch with the CID, Vaughn and the others were elected to watch the deciding moment from the stands. At long last, the race entered its final leg.
泣いても笑ってもこれが最後の集会ですか。いよいよ勝者が決まるわけね。
このままマクシムが逃げ切るか、アスランが再び抜き返すのか。
まさに手に汗握る展開ですね。
まさかここまで見せ上がるとはな。
一瞬たりとも目が離せません。
うん、こっちまで緊張してきたよ。
私も Z1 を見始めて長いが、ここまで熱い勝負はいつぶりかね。
おばあちゃんにそこまで言わせるなんて、まさに最高のデッドヒートね。おじさん、頑張って。
Let me guess. I can probably see what's gonna happen right now. Something's gonna happen to Maxim's car. He's gonna crash out.
あと一息。ゴールラインは目の前よ。
このまま優勝すれば4連覇か。許したわけじゃねえが。
He's gonna crash out, isn't he? I see what's gonna happen here.
へえ、ここで仕掛けるんだ。
おお、
すっげえ。
いけー。
Oh.
さあ、どっちだ。
Oh, there it is.
Oh, マジかよ。
There it is. I saw that coming a mile away. Saw that coming. Saw that coming. They both crashed out. Saw that coming. Saw that coming a mile away. Well, that takes care of the terrorists. Okay, yeah. This feeling. Y'all remember what just happened? The explosion, I mean. We've gone through another rewind. I can sense it. Yeah, it was right after we turned the terrorists over to Renee. But more to the point, we can't let that tragedy play out again. No shit. Let's pull ourselves together and get to it. In order to do so, we need a firm grasp on what actually happened. An explosion of that scale couldn't have been just a simple crash. I'm of the same mind. In all probability, one of the Z1 cars had some manner of explosive attached to it. No way! Who would do that? We've already caught all the terrorists. More remnants for one, or perhaps a more reasonable theory is that they have a collaborator. From my point of view, the explosion seemed to originate from Aslan's vehicle. That was the way I saw it too. About this whole rewinding business, though, What a profoundly fascinating experience. I guess I guess it's the first time she's actually experienced it. Still, I have a sneaking feeling that I've gone through this someplace before. Don't tell me she remembers the poison gas incident on Nemeth Island. Oh, yeah, technically she does remember that. She should remember it, right? It feels like getting tossed in a washing machine, if I'm being real. Back on topic, it's to say about the Aslan's car is the one carrying the explosive. And Maxim was unlucky enough to get caught up in it, too. We're short on time. Let's just work with what we know, and get to stepping. Yeah, let's make our way to Ingrid's garage and take a look at his ride. We'll give Renee and Maxim the heads up on so they can run interference for us. Act 3, Route B, Grand Circuit, Tragedy. I understand the situation, but we already performed an inspection on the car before bringing it in. I'm fairly certain there are no issues to be found. Maybe so, but this is a request from the CID. Not to mention, Maxim's word for us, too. It'd actually put me at ease if we could clear this up. Well, if you insist, then I suppose it's fine. Not to worry, this will take no time at all. Alan's just as good guy as we heard, huh? Yes, I'm glad he was willing to vouch for us. Rodney, what are you doing here? I thought the final checks were finished already. Oh, ain't that sketchy. Excuse me a sec. Hey, no need to rub over a mechanic. Of all the lousy timing. You're not Rodney. What in blazes? Is it me, or have you seen this guy's mug before? If I squint just right, yeah. He appears to be trimmed up a tad since our last encounter. That's some dedicated camouflage. But it wasn't enough to pull the wool over our eyes. He's the one who caused a stir over Neurasian, the anti-immigration activist Jacobin. I barely remember that. Didn't think you had the cojones to strut around in the open. You're that infernal Spriggan. Fool me once, shame on me, but twice? Vaughn, I found the bomb. It was wedged in a gap under the engine cover. Nice work, Quatre. I almost drove out. With that? So the miniature explosive attached to Aslan's vehicle race car was safely removed. The real mechanic whom Jacobin had knocked out and tied up was then found unharmed. From there, the Zealand Grand Prix kicked off once more, with the competition heating up more than ever.
今度はマクシムがアスランを追う展開か。まさか。
Well, Rippers happen again. Happen again. Not quite there yet. We almost had it though. Boy, Rippers. That's the first time we actually had 2 dead ends. Well, not really, actually. That happened before. Here we are again. Another rewind. And the time was exactly the same as before. In the end, we couldn't stop that tragedy from repeating itself. Though it did play out differently compared to the last time. Right, and right down to how the race was going. But the part that struck out to me was the size of the explosion. I noticed that too. It was... Oh, shit. Wasn't it smaller? Shit, I didn't realize there was a choice! Alright. Yeah, it's smaller than before. Compared to the first explosion, it was way smaller and the cars were slightly less damaged. Right. I didn't see it in as much detail as Fairy, but I did have the same thought. What I don't understand is how it even happened. We definitely removed the bomb that was placed in Aslan's car. There must have been 2 from the very beginning. That's the only logical conclusion. The first explosion was caused by both bombs going off, while the second was caused by just the one. But that way, the logic checks out. In summary, an explosive was planted on not only Mr. Aslan's vehicle, but Mr. Lugan's as well. Do I have that right? Couldn't even get a word in edgewise there. But yeah, I'd say y'all hit the nail on the head. You guys sure are a sharp bunch. Something tells me you're stumped on who actually planted the extra bomb, though. A few ideas come to mind, but we don't have enough material to narrow things down. And that brings us to you, Judith. I got a job that only our resident prowler could pull off. I see where this is going. You want me to stake out the ETWS garage, right? Yep, the limelight's all yours. If everything goes right, we'll have our other culprit. What about the Ingert bomb? Are we just gonna let it be? We may have to let Jacobin walk for now. Apprehending him would be sure to cause a disturbance. And if that puts the other culprit on our guard, we'll be right back at square one. Time's not on our side, so I'll get right to it. Alright.
さあ、誰だか知らないけど、尻尾を見せなさい。間違いない。今手にしていたものは、そんな、まさか彼だったなんて。
What the fuck, Matt? Oh, is he corroded? He's got the corrosion, doesn't he?
犯人はマクシム・ルーガンその人よ。なぜ自分の命もろとも後輩の命を狙っているのかはわからないけど。
Well, good work either way. Possibility did cross my mind. Let's just put a pin in this for now. I got one more favor to ask of you, of our world-class phantom thief. Shoot, at this point I might as well go to the whole Selg. This time it's right up your alley. I want you to pull a heist. You'll have to time it while Maxim's guard is down, just before the race begins. As for what you'll be stealing, what else could it be but those 2 bombs? Sounds like my kind of fun. You're on. Wait, how do you expect me to steal from 2 cards at the same time? No one said you had to do it alone. Don't you got a top cat you can call on? Is Maxim corroded by the... He's got the corrosion, doesn't he? He's corroded.
今すべての Z1 カーがスターティンググリッドに並びました。ここでなんとシェリド皇太子殿下から伝言とサプライズプレゼントがあります。カルバードに、そして Z1 グランプリに栄光あれ。
これは驚いたな。まさかこんなものを仕込んでいたとは。
すごいわね。
皇太子さんもやるじゃねえか。
大きな花火、本当に綺麗です。
豪勢なもんだぜ。
それにしてもよく間に合いましたね。
サプライズの花火だと、それもエルザイムの皇太子からと。
そこまでよ。
貴様を爆発物使用未遂罪で拘束する。はっ、なぜそれを知っている？だがバンのやつ、よくもこんな土壇場で無茶な注文をしてくれるものだ。ともあれ、シェリド殿下には名前を貸してくれたことを感謝しなくては。
ええ、ギルドからも改めてお礼を言っておかないと。あとは
これはこれでいい土産になった。さあ集中だ。
お宝ゲットよ。おばあちゃんの方は
There she is.
限定的な変身だったが、まだまだ衰えちゃいないもんだね。
って、 なんで現役の私より手際がいいのよ。
万事うまくいったみたいだね。
残るミッションはあと一つか。
はい、このまま最後までレースを見守りましょう。あとはお願いします、バンさん。
With that, Von Crew's third iteration of the Grand Prix started up anew. As expected, it came down to a head-to-head battle between Maxim and Aslan. Once again, this race arrived at the final ill-fated lap.
ついにレースも大詰め、ファイナルラップ。栄光を手にするのは赤い流星か、若き新星か。
Maxim's corroded, isn't he?
今日こそあなたを超えさせてもらいます。
アスラン、本当に腕を上げたな。だが恨むなよ。
マキシム選手、アスラン選手をブロック。
今だ、起爆スイッチを。どうした？故障か？
マキシム選手、スピードダウン。強引に行き過ぎたか？
こうなったら思い切りぶつけるまでだ。
さて一丁やるか。
両者ともに譲らない。凄まじいデッドヒート。周回遅れの最後尾にまで追いついた。あっと、あのマシンは
こんなところにレノが直前に棄権したはずじゃ。こいつわざと接触を？
悪いがこのままコースアウトしてもらうぜ。
邪魔をするな。
チャンピオンが意地を見せた。素晴らしいハンドルさばき。
さすがは赤い流星。あそこから押し返されるとはな。だがここから直撃するのは無理だろ。
Yep, he's corroded.
おっと、マキシム選手、猛烈な追い上げです。信じられない速度。これが赤き流星の底力。とんでもないことになりました。優勝争いの2人がまさかのコースアウト。安否が気になるところです。
Yep, he's corroded.
先輩。
赤黒いオーラに異常な身体の最初からチャンピオンが侵食されてたってわけかよ。向かった先は関係者の駐車場か。
Knew it. It's fucking corroded. Alright. They then took off and pursued Maxim, whom they located making his way to the suburbs.
マクシムさん、一体どこを目指しているんでしょうか。
さあな、候補はいろいろあるだろうが、どうしてもっつうから乗せはしたが、危険と判断したら降りてもらうからな。
ええ、分かっているわ。
マクシムおじさん。
あの野郎、一体何が。
カトル、準備できたのか。
うん。なんとか向こうの車載通信機につなげられたよ。リゼットさん、通話の共有化は準備できたかな。
プロセス完了です、カトル様。
ありがとう。それじゃあ通話を開始するよ。
聞こえるか、チャンピオン。
なんだ？
悪いが通信機をハッキングさせてもらったぜ。一体なんでこんなことをしてんのか、ちょいと聞かせてもらいたくてな。
君たちには関係のない話だ。
私が相手でも言えないかしら。
ポーレット、一番 無理をする必要なんてない。
僕が全て解決する。だから。
先輩。
目を覚ましたか、貴様の下道な行いがポーレットたちを。
何を言って。
とにかく話は終わりだ。これ以上後を追うのはやめてくれ。
通信機を叩き壊しやがったが。
ポーレットさんが傷ついている。
心当たりあんのか。
いいえ、それが全く。
You may probably know she's been acting weird since the beginning.
Daybreak ディルク記念公園。奴にとってのこだわりの場所ってわけか。
You're those folks who can always come around to exterminate monsters. We just had someone force their way into the forested area. I think he dragged another person with him, too. They were both dressed in racing suits, but the air about them was anything but normal. Please, sir, settle down. You're that bracer. Yes, we're here as part of a joint effort for the Intelligence Division. I'm Kincaid of the CID. Those extermination requests you mentioned were issued by me. It just so happens that we've had two persons of interest flee into this park. My collaborators are in the midst of pursuing them. We'd appreciate if you could let us take things from here. I see. I guess I can rest easy with the CID and Guild in the case. Here's the key. Best of luck to you. Really smooth, talked your way through that one, huh? Drastic times call for drastic measures. While we may not be brigands, this much should be within our bounds.
それでこの先のことなんですが。
ええ、私たちはここにいた方が良さそうね。
けど。
残念だがユメ、さすがについていくのは危険だぜ。
ユメちゃん、どうか心配しないで待っていてください。私たちがちゃんと無事にマクシムさんを連れて帰りますから。アニエスちゃん、フェリちゃん、わかった。さあ、改めて向かうわよ。森林区画は入って左手でしたね。
ああ、去年の秋頃にチャンピオンの依頼で訪れた場所だ。手遅れになる前に追いつかねえとな。
Oh boy. Y'all seen this? This place looks very gloomy. It's like shit it's that red shit from Langport. Boy, do I. It's like we stepped right into another world. The air has been completely corroded. What's more, the higher elements seem to be infected. Max and Paulette made such good memories here. Yeah, it's got a special plate in his heart even now. Psh, it's like this is any excuse for him to dump his schmaltzy love stories on us. Do you suppose Mr. Lagoon's destination is the memorial tree deeper within? Without a doubt. That's where Max and Paulette buried their time capsule 7 years ago. So that's why. We'll want to be prepared for anything before trading any further. Yeah, ready up, gang. It's go time. Alright. I'm gonna wrap it up here because we're at that time. So when we come back, we'll begin our escapade through the forest. We'll see if they can't snap Maxim out of it. And we'll see what happens. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you then. Later.